Yeah.
Vanglorious Vanguard.
Knowledge born.
Yeah.
United Front.
Tell it.
What you want.
To the Knowledge Radio.
We in here. What you got? Dot.
Work hard as a slave to one day be your savior. The wave unwavering. This is a labor of love. Rise with a purpose every day. Invigorated. If we were on TV, we'd be 10 times syndicated. If we waited for validation, a paycheck or accolades, we'd be starved, already lost or ran away. But when you're square solid and you circle too, you don't need a place for silence. The concept is conquered through media, not areas of people activity. A mix that don't lose ethnicity, tightness that don't lose elasticity. Explicitly, this isn't where we give the novice regard. Nah, this is where knowledge is born. Last time that I checked, I'm undefeated. Deliver edicts, can't resist when the gods build and manifest freedom. When lines get crossed, they may push a loss, cause they get handed a check. We kick a can and cancel your cancerous gestures. A prophet vision, precision, the prescription for the sickness is to inoculate your fate with the winning. Arrogant beginnings turn to humble endings. And UF with KBA is a win-win. 1K.
They say it takes a village to raise a child. Now, us as parents, when we send our kids out into society and off to school, we're not always necessarily there to provide that extra security blanket, to be that extra sense of security for our children. This is where the KJ13 Anti-Bullying Inc. comes into play. It provides extra knowledge. It gives extra outlets. They do food drives. So for any information that you may have, please contact King James 13 Anti-Bullying Inc. INC, that is, at gmail.com, or contact 463-333-2268 today for all information.
It's no shine in the tail. Snapping off film. I'm affiliated.
This video is under fair use. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act in 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or purpose use tips the balance in favor of fair use. All rights and credit go directly to its rightful owners. No copyright infringement intended. Enjoy. Oh yeah. On your way out, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment, man. This is the Argument League. Turn up.
Say I've been there. Let me run this fade with this motherfucker. What's the name? Live. I'm at you, big bro. Yeah, Black Power, man. Shout out to the family. It's the boy Swab Boss. You already know what it is, man. Snapping off AOI, Argument League, SVDL. Shit. Well, fuck it. Shit. Oh. Man, shout out to the family, man. Being on the track, Zio the Counter, snapping off fam. Shout out to Solomon, the commissioner, Sullivan's Debate League, the only debate league in the world, greatest debate league in the world, only debate league on YouTube, greatest debate league on YouTube. Shout out to Knowledge Born Alive, do the Knowledge Radio, Knowledge Born Alive on YouTube. Shout out to the AOI, Holly Goldmine, Brandon, Wicked, Radical, Ampu, Pro Black, Ground Zero, Hurricane Katrina, the King James 13, Anti-Bully Inc. Shout out to the judges. Oh yeah, you gonna talk to y'all. Shout out to the peers, wherever they at, and shout out to the people of SVDLG. That West Sider Rider Shay Bo. Bump, bump, bump. Shay Love. Shout out to the sis. Shout out to the sis. Tell Blue I said what's good. Stop letting that girl run all over him. Shout out to the family, man. Love y'all, man. Glad y'all doing all right, man. Hope everybody progressing in the lane with your work got passion. Cause work is work, but it ain't gotta be torture. Hope you woke up with somebody you love, even if you woke up by yourself. I mean, love yourself. Love the ones who you with. The fifth. The fifth. The fifth. Mandy ain't finna set me up for another downfall. Friday. Yeah. Nah. Okay, my bad, y'all. It was debate shit. Nandy act like she want to reschedule that debate after she done ran 3 times. 3 times. Talk more shit than she walked. God damn. So, KOT, congratulations on another excellent debate. Skeem, apologizations on another fucking robbery. Damn, am I missing something? See, that's why I don't fucking judge. Because I'm fucking missing something. This nigga KOT got up there and laughed for an hour and scored 140. Wow. We got to go back through that motherfucker, man. We got to go back through that motherfucker, man. That's it. But I gotta run, grab me something right quick. Let me put this link out there, man, just in case somebody new to this fucking world want to get the hit the panel because for some reason that's an oops too. Damn, that's crazy, man. My motherfucking computer do not fuck with me no more, man. All brakes are failing. All brakes are failing. Okay, so the original channel got struck. And so here we are, face to face, on the argumentally heat too. Let me see. Okay. Okay. Never got a copyright claim. Copyright claim. Damn. 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 It's all good. It's all good. It's all good, man. So, yes, I don't know. KOT is judging the debates now, obviously. KOT is judging the debates. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, man. That's why I said maybe it's something I'm missing, man. Maybe it's something I missed, cause I missed the premise. I ain't gonna hold you up. I missed the premise. I damn near fell asleep and woke up. Like, oh shit. Debate. Let's debate. So let me see. But I think we do got debates. Yeah, man. I don't know what the fuck. Hey, Skeem, man, where you at, man? You need to fuck with me, man. See, Skeem, that's that shit. Cause your motherfucking goofy ass came in his league running up under Chris. Chris is so perfect and poised. And does such an incredible job. And I love the way that Chris talks and his handshake doesn't bother me at all. You ran jumped your motherfucking ass up under Chris, and Chris gave you all that motherfucking bullshit. Not knowing Chris was a crying ass motherfucking bitch. I think he got my motherfucking wrench taken because I timed that nigga out for discrediting the debates, calling them trash and shit. Then I come back and I ain't got no wrench. I said, damn, this nigga Chris really know how to call niggas and cry. I don't do all that. Take the wrench. I ain't here for wrenching anyway. I'm here to debate. Take the wrench. I'm not here to wrench anything anyway. I just block the robots and yeah. Yeah, now his dad gone and the nigga can't get a good score. Well, he's getting great scores. He's not getting 112s and 116s. KOT scored a 123 against True Justice in a flat earth debate. And then he scores a 140. My brain just won't let it be true. Let me see if it's a challenge. Because I am still players representative so far, I guess. Let's see. Skeem challenge. Man, fuck that. I don't see one. Okay, so I don't know what's going on, man. I refuse to be denied though. For real. Ain't nobody finna come around here, keep talking about no pussy ass Chris, and this nigga keep quitting and crying. That's all that nigga do. Quit and cry. Quit and cry. Quit and cry. That's it. I don't even remember him debate. What debate did he have? What debate did he have? Fuck it. Because I got another debate Friday with Pro Black, man. Did the Egyptians make it to the America? Oh, that's the topic that made Chris run. That's why I'm saying, you can take all of my content onto your channel. Niggas is bitches, bro. Then Nandy rescheduled without rescheduling. But now she want to set it up again. I can't do it this week. I told Solar, tell her pick a day next week, any day next week, and I'm gonna get it, and I'm gonna stomp on her head. I'm gonna make goddamn potatoes juice out of her fucking head. I'm gonna ring her doctrine the fuck out. This pseudo ass shit about the Arab slave trade. I don't understand 60% of what he be saying, fam. I don't know how 60% of what he's saying is laughing. You ever know somebody so full of shit they just can't stop smiling? They just can't stop laughing. If KLT getting 140, then y'all should be getting 160s now. Don't want better to get 151 on the next debate. Man, let me see what this shit was about, man. Let me see what this shit was about, man. Let's debate. That boy, Rio, 3-0, seeming like Neo. The family, our relatives with this family. This is our King Solomon is my family. David is my family. Family. That Bible fucked y'all up, boy. That Bible really fucked y'all up. Lilith, revenge, peace to you. So I do know, man, I want to call out. I want to just get a little better. Can I call somebody out? Lilith Revenge said, revenge is right in the name. Stop. Cometh, downeth. Yeah, man. Let's debate. Man, that motherfucker even fucking with me, man. Whole world turning their back on a real nigga. It's all good, man. It's seasons and reasons, man. Growth. Growth. Let me see. Let's debate. Man, that motherfucker really acting like a hoe, huh? Let me see something. But man, they go at it on the internet. What the fuck? What the fuck I said, do? What the fuck I said, do? Oh shit, man. Shout out to Spanish Sparks. You already know what it is, man. Hold on, let me see. I appreciate y'all, man. Fucking with Gold Mine Channel, man, and the Argument League. Two. Said, ben, 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 ben. I can't with humans, bro. It's like just a group of hoe ass people blending in with humanity. It is. It's just a group of weird ass niggas that's just facially challenged.
Cranium challenge. Voice challenged. Like, damn, boy, you rolled the dice and died on all ends. It's the nickels. It's the pickles. It's the 1031. Yeah, motherfuckers just damn. I don't want to start no colorism shit, but you could be the wrong color as a black person. You could be so light skinned. It really don't look like, I don't know, one of these things are not like the other. One of these things are just not the same. That nigga face, head, voice, mustache, everything fucked up. And the nigga pseudo, the nigga was a tour night. You was a tour night. Your pigmentation is incomplete. Your dome wasn't shaped right. Your face looked undeveloped. Your voice sound undeveloped. No wonder why you act like that. My bad. You handicapped. Life fucked you up. Everybody else rolled sevens and your shit rolled off the table, nigga. Game. Game. Your 8 ball went into the pocket. Game. Your basketball flew off the goddamn fence. Game. Your football deflated. Game. Your golf ball went in the pond. Game. Whatever you want to call it. Whatever example or metaphor you want to use, nigga. You're just not approachable. You're not presentable. You know, you come with a clause like, oh yeah, me and a group of brothers gonna come through, but it's this one guy. You can try to play that shit off if you want to and just walk in with him like he normal and regular and shit. That nigga in that motherfucking tracksuit, that nigga walk like this. Nigga walk like this in that tracksuit, throwing away trophies and shit. Oh, I throw away trophies. Take my video off your channel or I'm striking it. By the way, Israelites, I'm the smartest person in the world and I challenge you. This nigga picking on the handicap. This nigga picking on the handicap. If you believe Jesus walked on water and Noah built the ark and Moses walked up to a mountain, came back down with tablets after talking to God, I want to challenge you intellectually. Yeah, you better stay in that arena too. You better stay in the arena where people believe in fucking talking bushes. Cause the moment you step out of that arena, you're the motherfucking nigga that believe in talking bushes. You crammed all that useless information into your head because you thought God was real. You studied for years, turned down dates, social gatherings, stopped celebrating holidays, eating certain food, dressing a certain way, shaving your fucking face. You thought you was a Torah only Israelite and you're a goddamn what's a real good one? Nigga, you play Dungeons and Dragons. Cloak and Dagger. You out on some Cloak and Dagger shit. And then you wasted that. You took the presence of the Bible, the hopes of the Most High, and still was just a whole ass nigga. It didn't give you no obedience. It didn't give you no respect. It didn't tell you how to treat people, how to be received by people, how to walk, talk. You still was around here talking shit about people, kids, people, girls, dogging people out. It didn't deepen your voice. You refuse to get in the sun. You probably look dirty if you get in the sun and get a little color to you. You probably look real fucking dirty. You weird. Oh, motherfucker, man. Let me jump on my phone. Let me get this motherfucker. Yeah, a lot of motherfuckers. I mean, it is what it is. But I'll definitely be up here by myself for 12 hours. Cam Richardson. Let's debate. Ain't no way in hell this nigga about to. Come on, man. If you big, man. Ain't no wrong with it, man. He said, y'all better get them kids out the way. He about to murder something. Over. Murdered himself. Okay. My bad. Let me get back to business. Yeah, fam. You hit. And you pseudo as shit. You dumb and you unstudied. And you don't know how to study. Nigga, this ain't the Bible. Pussy. It's real life. Nigga ran over there. Some dick sucking ass nigga. Why am I backstage? I should be. What the fuck on? Let's debate. Pop point with the Draco. About to let 100 off. Pop, 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 pop. Let's debate. All right, there I go. Okay, I hear me. Yeah, I'm mad. Yeah, I kill. Yeah, I'm. Let me see. All right. That shit kind of taking all day to load up, though. I put my shit on, man. I'm gonna go get a couple things. All real niggas got a Family Dollar around their house. The Family Dollar ain't even Family Dollar no more. Family Dollar like Walmart Junior. My beautiful babe. Nigga, not you. Talking about you don't feel good? I didn't have a bug. Yes, I think you gave me your bug. Oh, you funny. All right. Okay. Mic check. I think y'all can hear me. Man, little Skeem got Willie beamed. That nigga Skeem. Willie Beam, man. Nah, fuck that shit. Motherfuckers say, we striking the argument lead. We ain't gonna go over there and talk to Suave at all. Nigga, you ain't gonna come over here and get your ass cussed out by Suave? Cause that's all the fuck you ever did. The fuck? Like you coming over here did something good for the fucking channel. Yeah. It's all good. I'm gonna get Tahuti over here. Tahuti gonna come over here and learn me something. Something I could be proud of. This nigga Lance, he think him not coming over here is boycotting. That what happened to my motherfucker? Fuck it. Let me put my Kemet wear on. Man, come on, Cass. Shut up, man. Man, come on, man. I thought you didn't feel good. Oh, yeah. What them bogus ass blacks at, too? You said you got them from the G section, baby? All right. Look at that. What the fuck? This ain't no motherfucking wood tip jazz. All these jazz. Okay, they only got me twice. Kemet wear for the man who praises and worship Ra. Kemet wear for those who love Kemet. For those who want to be comedic and praise Ra and get their heart weighed by the feather. Y'all niggas dumb as shit, man. Niggas really special, man. Niggas really special with no good intent. All right, here we go. Let's see this motherfucking Skeem versus KOT, man. Let's see who fucked up.
I still not like old speakers, not like old shoulder from vantage.
Your boy, get right to this debate, family, once again. Is there archaeological and historical evidence of King Solomon? All right, so let's get right to it, family. We're going with a standard format, obviously, for the rest of the season. That'll be a 5-minute opening, 10 minutes apiece for the rebuttal, premise, and rapid fire round, and a 5-minute closing. I fucked that up. Didn't I fuck that up? We got a 5-minute opening, 10 minutes apiece for the premise, rebuttal, and rapid fire round, and a 5-minute closing. So without further ado, let's get to this debate. KOT is the affirmative. So we're going with KOT. It is on you. Whenever you're ready, you could begin your opening, brother.
Okay, I'm gonna need to share my screen.
Your screen is sharing.
Okay.
Make sure you take that little icon out
We're gonna
too.
keep this one simple tonight, family. Okay. We're gonna keep this one simple tonight, family. Okay. Is there any historical or archaeological evidence? I don't know if he said or and, but it don't make a difference, family. Of King Solomon, according to the biblical narrative. Now, my premise tonight, family, I'll be showing history using historical documentation concerning King Solomon. I will also be showing archaeology pertaining to the biblical narrative coinciding with events of King Solomon's time, showing there is evidence of his existence, family. Now, what is biblical? Biblical is relating to or contained in the Bible. So I will be dealing with documents that are biblical, family. Historical, of or concerning history, concerning past events. Now, debate is about a past event that was any historical or archaeological evidence found. And I will be going into historical documents. Archaeology, the study of human history and prehistory through the excavations of sites and the analysis of artifacts and other physical remains. I will be showing you artifacts and studies done by archaeologists of King Solomon's to prove he existed. Now we need to understand biblical archaeology. LiveScience.com. The magazine Biblical Archaeology Review defines biblical archaeology as a branch of archaeology dealing with the archaeology of biblical lands, family. So we know it deals with lands that informs our understanding of the Bible and or the historicity of biblical events. And this debate is about events. Can I prove anything coincide with the events of Solomon, according to archaeology or history? Other definitions include the specific geographical areas that are studied. So we know this is done by geographical areas of land masses that they study and excavate for archaeological finds and artifacts. For example, biblical archaeology is a subset of the larger field of Syro-Palestinian archaeology, which is conducted throughout the region encompassed by modern Israel, Jordan, Lebanon, and Syria, wrote Eric Klein, professor of classic anthropology and history at George Washington University, in his book, Biblical Archaeology. Now we know, even by the evidence I show, family, we still know that there's people that's going to hold to their opinion and their belief on what they choose to believe that the archaeologists have found, family. Is what I will be showing tonight. And we need to understand something else, family. 2 Kings 25 and 9. He burned the houses of Yahweh, the king's house, and all the houses of Jerusalem. Even every great house he burned with fire. So we know this is about 3,000 years ago, family. And we know that there was destruction happened. So we know that that's the reason for archaeology finds, to see if there's any evidence or any remains to confirm King Solomon has existed, family. So when I get into my premise tonight, I will be showing you artifacts and locations that archaeologists have found stating of King Solomon and pertaining to his time, family. And I'll go ahead and close it out there.
All right, shout out to KOT. We're going to pass the rock now over to Skeem, plotting and scheming. All right, you got 5 minutes to do your thing, brother. Whenever you're ready, you could begin your opening. Unmute your mic. You there, Skeem?
Yeah, my fault. I'm here.
All right. Whenever you're ready, brother.
Hold on. All right.
All right. Your screen is sharing. It look like it's uploading right now. So
Okay.
yeah. So yeah. While that thing's uploading, y'all need to step y'all game up with the thing. Yo, that joint spinning, bro. Put me in a damn
Shit.
matrix with this shit.
This shit
That's
is
why that nigga died right there,
That
man.
slow ass
And that nigga
internet you
died
got.
because his
damn.
internet connection. Hey, Skin, you get that internet
Must be
connection,
Hold
you
on
will
on.
that
find
new
you a block
diet,
party, my
slim,
nigga.
slow.
Hey,
You see me?
Skin,
You see me?
I see
hey,
you
you
now,
get
bro.
that
Go ahead and
internet
put it
connection
on
and tell that nigga
presentation,
you
and
a
you can begin.
party. What? Skin
All right.
140. If he get his internet together. Don't ride for my Comcast niggas. I ride for my uplink
Shit.
niggas.
Uh,
I ride for my Spectrum niggas.
I think
All
it
the
is
niggas with the Spectrum
inside
internet, put
of.
your
Oh, there
hands
you
in
go.
the motherfucking air. Hands in the air. All the niggas with the Comcast internet, put your motherfucking hands in the air. Hands
Yeah, I
in
don't
the
know
air.
why it's going so
Everybody with the
slow, man. It's on
AT&T
the
internet, put
Ethernet.
your motherfucking hands in the air.
Shit is
Hands
crazy.
in the air. If you ain't got no internet, put your motherfucking hands in the.
Damn.
Yeah, you're on
That
that.
They
nigga
paused my time.
scheme.
You're on that
Internet is
keep sweating
scheming.
it. Need
He
some
think that
Ethernet.
he dreaming, but he really,
Take the
really
icon
beaming.
off at the bottom.
Acting like a demon. Yes, this
Hide
is
the
the
icon so they
season
can see.
for you to
All
dip
right.
it.
Niggas on
This
that
nigga
keep
fucking up for
sweating it.
no reason. What the fuck?
All right, go ahead
What
whenever
the
you're ready, bro.
fuck? Get your
All right,
internet
family.
up before you fuck around, get struck
All right, family. Is there
like I
historical and
did.
archaeological
Okay,
evidence
there
for
you
the
go.
existence of King Solomon? No. My argument: Solomon could not exist in history. He is only found in the Bible, which is not historical documentation for the validation of his existence. The biblical narrative is myth. If we compare the narrative of Solomon with historical events, locations, and figures, we find no evidence to back up the narrative, scholars thus deeming him a mythological character. This mythological character, named Solomon, claims to be the king of Israel during the 10th century BC. You will only find this claim in the Bible. No other civilizations of antiquity wrote anything down about the wisest, richest king on earth with 1,000 wives, known as Solomon, during his alleged reign of 970 to 931 BC. Allegedly. There's no historical or back up the dating, biblical narrative, his palace, or his temple that he built or had built. Historical evidence. Let's break down what that is. Much historical evidence is anecdotal, an individual's personal accounts of his or her experience. Examples include mainly primary sources such as diaries, letters, transcriptions of conversations, interviews, or memoirs. Archaeology, scientific study of the material remains of past human life and activities. These include human artifacts from the very earliest stone tools to the man made objects that are buried or thrown away in the present day. Everything made by human beings, from simple tools to complex machines, from the earliest houses and temples and tombs to palaces, cathedrals, and pyramids. Myth, a person or thing having only an imaginary or unverifiable existence. An example, the unicorn is a myth, a popular belief or tradition that has grown up around something or someone. Another example, the utopian myth of a perfect society. Mythological characters, some examples are King Arthur, Helen of Troy, and the golden fleece, which is a parallel of Isaac, and we'll get into that later. Biblical narrative. A biblical narrative is both a type of narrative and a reference to certain passages or books of the Bible. Example, the first 17 books of the Bible are narratives. The biblical narrative is used to corroborate myth with history. Points I will be covering in my premise. Problems with the base of the biblical timeline. No evidence of a kingdom in Israel with approximately $2 trillion worth of gold and silver in the 10th century BC. Solomon having temple built on a mountain in Moriah. Synchronicity of Isaac and David's sacrifice on Mount Moriah. Like I said, I'll get into that. No evidence for Solomon's palace, temple, or Hiram of Tyre. No evidence for the Ark of the Covenant that was in the Solomon's temple. No evidence of a king in Israel with 700 wives and 300 concubines. The Queen of Sheba is myth. No evidence for her existence. No Solomonic bloodline that's supposed to trace all the way up until now. No primary evidence of civilizations of antiquity speaking on Solomon. And that's the most important one of them all. And I'm going to close out on that.
All right. Shout out to Brother Skeem. We're going to keep this thing rocking and rolling, family, right after this brief intermission, family. This is the Soul of Vision Debate League. Let's get it.
The man is not allowed clean in his own country, but you want to convince the world that this man is not only a threat to his neighbors, but he is a threat to the entire human family. You are a liar. Liar, and the people are intellectual cowards who sit down and suck up this filthy lie.
Man, I've been rapping for a minute, I don't see how niggas hate on it. Swab Boss the greatest, motherfuckers should wait on it. Even if my album drop 10 years from now, nigga, it's gonna be the hardest album out 10 years from now, nigga. The Swab Boss, you niggas should see that shit. Whatever I am in the old niggas should be that shit. Whatever they say they gon' throw, I don't agree with it. Just had a couple of my O's and come at me with it, man, it's Swab Boss. The reason why these niggas get hauled off if 100 niggas die for this cause is a small cost. I'm trying to get my people on their feet again, nigga, but I'm back smoking weed, drinking Hennessy, nigga. And maybe that's why I'm not back on my shit. It's Swab Boss from 2-6 who moved out to the bricks, hooked up with Bingo from Fifth. Now we know we love shit, now they know they should quit trying to make it hood rich. All that bullshit on your mind, ho, I wish you would spit. Niggas know what I'm about, and they wish I would flip. Niggas ask about a track, they wanna hear that shit, but when they ask to do a track, they don't permit that shit, man. And that's the type of shit that I don't say, man. Niggas know from the go that I don't play, man. Coming straight from the streets, and I can't straight, man. They ain't fucking with him, cause he don't pay, man.
Why are the Europeans so insecure about other people in the world? And why do you, after everywhere you go, you gotta kill?
Peace, family. What's good? This is the Soul of Vision Debate League, and we are now heading into the premise round. We're going to start out with, once again, KOT. Set this timer for 10 minutes. It is on you, KOT. Whenever you're ready, you can begin your premise, brother.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, you can shut my screen. Can they see my screen?
Yes, they can see it now, brother.
Oh, okay. Okay, family, historical. We got the 5Q2 King, language Hebrew. Okay. 28 then King David answered, called Bathsheba into me. She came into the king's presence and stood before the king. The king swore and said, as Yahweh lives, who has redeemed my soul out of all adversity, most certainly as I swore to you by Yahweh, the God of Israel, saying, surely Solomon your son shall reign after me, and he shall sit on my throne in my place. I will most certainly do this today. So we have a historical document referencing King David and King Solomon and Bathsheba family. We're going to EthiopianTreasures.co.uk. A large part of the history of Ethiopia is centered on the legend of the Queen of Sheba of Ethiopia and King Solomon of Israel. Many Ethiopians believe that the relationships between Sheba and Solomon resulted to a son who founded the Solomonic dynasty in Ascom. According to Ethiopian traditional history, the Queen of Sheba learned about the wisdom of King Solomon from a merchant called Tamrin, how he worshipped God and his skills building a great temple in Jerusalem. So we see that the Ethiopians built a historical foundation of, of Solomon from a lineage coming through a son of him and a Queen of Sheba family. And this is the cultural history family that have this document that Solomon exists in their culture family, the biblical Solomon. DriveThroughHistory.com. Ancient manuscripts of the Bible, while archaeology provides a great deal of information and physical evidence, much of it also needs to be interpreted in a historical framework and with ancient texts to help us decipher events, architecture, and artifacts. So we know that we need text, ancient text to decipher events, family. And we have the Hebrew manuscripts, the scrolls of the Qumran cave, family. We have documents. Among these documents are historical sections which recorded people, places, and events, giving us detailed insights into the past, family. ExpressCO.uk. Archaeologists discovered similar building features at these three cities that conclusively date their construction to the 10th century BC. This is of tremendous importance for demonstrating the historical accuracy of the biblical account of Solomon's building projects. Archaeologists discovered that each of these three cities built during the Solomonic period shared the same building features. Each city boasted casemate walls, which are a simple yet effective defensive measure involving two walls running in parallel. So archaeologists have found these cities, these gates, family, and dating to the same time of Solomon and of the same cities, family. Each city also featured a large gate with three chambers on each side, as well as two towers standing watch over the entryway. Professor Meyer said. Also, the pottery discovered in the strata of the gates attested to these fortifications being built at the time of King Solomon. So Professor Meyer said they had pottery discovered, and it all dates to the time of King Solomon. And this is a city or gates of Solomon, archaeologists have discovered. The resemblance of the plan of the gate, which was only used once in Israelite history through the time of Solomon in the 10th century, the casemate walls and the pottery confirm that each of these cities were constructed by Solomon at the same time as the Bible records, family. This is according to archaeology. Once again, the archaeological data confirms in detail the historicity of the biblical account. So we have archaeologists confirming the biblical account. Haaretz.com. Aerial view of the penitential building found in ancient Gezer, which archaeologists have tentatively dated to King Solomon's time. Tel Gezer Excavation Project, Steve M. Ortiz. King Solomon era palace found in biblical Gezer. Monumental 3,000-year-old ruins. Philistine pottery support biblical tales of Gezer's rise and fall to a jealous pharaoh family, which was Shashak or Shoshak. So archaeologists have confirmed this city of ancient Gezer family being King Solomon's, and also 3,000-year-old ruins and pottery found support the tales of Gezer's rise and fall family. So we have more confirmation by archaeologists of the existence, according to the biblical narrative, of the cities King Solomon constructed, family. SideNews.com. 6 clay seals found at the archaeological site of Kerbet Sumli in Israel offer evidence that support the existence of biblical kings David and Solomon, says a team of archaeologists led by Dr. Jeff Blakely of the University of Wisconsin-Madison. The official clay seals of Boule unearthed by Dr. Blakely's team at Kerbet Sumli, a small biblical period village, 10th to 8th century BC, located in northern part of Israel, Pisquet, Negev Desert, provide evidence that some type of government activity was conducted there in that period. So they found seals of King Solomon's time and it supports the existence of the biblical David and Solomon family. And it shows that there was a government constructed in that era of that time, fam. These bullae were used to seal official correspondence in much the same way wax seals were used on official documents in later periods, said Dr. James Hardin of Mississippi State University, a team member and the lead author of the paper published in the journal Near Eastern Archaeology. The Not So Innocents, abroad.com. In 1993, at the site of Tel Dan in northern Israel, archaeologists discovered a fragment of a black basalt monument that dates to around 835 BCE, family. While it spoke of a horrific defeat of Israel and Judah, which were separate kingdoms at the time, by Hazael, the king of Damascus, amidst his boasting, he mentions the house of David family. This means that David's dynasty was known throughout the region. This clearly validates the biblical description of Judahite kings in Jerusalem, Finkelstein, and Serbenware, right, family. So we see that they have inscriptions written, family, showing the house of David existed, which compromises of King Solomon, also, family. And they have mentions of him and of the house of Judah family, the house of David family. And this is by Finkelstein and Serbenware. So we see that there's inscriptions, not even 200 years after King Solomon, them, stating that their lineage of King David and Solomon of their house is real and exists. Written on inscriptions, family. Observer.com. Scientists just discovered a major part of King Solomon's 3,000-year-old mine. A team of Tel Aviv University archaeologists recently made a discovery of biblical proportions, which may reveal the true locations of King Solomon's legendary mines. So we have some archaeologists, they found sets of mines, and they say this set of mines is King Solomon's family. That's how he had so many riches in that part of Africa. Now, all scholars agree, but the scholars that contest of this states is King Solomon's mines because it's the area that he ruled, family. And that would be one of the way of his riches, family, was the gold mines of the areas he dominated. And that's what our brother don't understand. We have archaeologists confirming inscriptions, confirming the city gates that Solomon built of the time of Solomon. And archaeologists are stating them to be Solomon's gates, family. So according to the biblical narrative, Solomon built these gates. According to archaeologists, they say he built these gates, family. And we know, according to the biblical narrative, that Jerusalem and the temple was destroyed. And they're still trying to excavate that area, but it's going through wars with the Arabs, family, and other people in the area trying to stop them from excavating. So that's why we haven't got all our artifacts completely, because there's a problem with the jurisdiction. But I went in my time, that family.
All right, shout out to KOT. We're going to pass the rock now over to Skeem. You got 10 minutes to do your thing, brother, whenever you're ready. Unmute your mic. Oh, I forgot he got that slow internet. So shout out to the league. We're going to keep you entertained, I guess you could say, while we make sure Skeem get his whole situation together. We do got some more debates lined up for the month of February. Should be a very interesting month. And got a couple of people that's trying to get it in, like pro-black politics. He got 2 debates lined up. One with Swab, did the Egyptians come to the Americas? And also he gets it in with Brother Gishar, the Big Bang versus creation. Holly, she got a few debates that she want to get off her chest. We got Brother Moses. Should black people participate in polygamy? She also has a debate with True Justice. Is physical conflict necessary at this day and time? And she is in the process of setting up a debate with Blue. Blue he does have a debate this month with Skeem. Is there historical and archaeological evidence for the Ark of the Covenant? So Skeem is definitely getting it in on the historical and archaeological evidence debates. So should be very interesting. You all set, Skeem? Unmute your mic. Guess he's getting his situation together. Yeah, you there?
I'm sharing my screen. My fault. Yeah, I'm sharing my screen. I just shared it. My shit. My stuff
Okay.
messing up.
All right. So this playoff race is going to be very interesting, especially looking at the lower tier debaters, or what they call lower tier debaters. I believe that in order for you to make the playoffs this season, you're going to have to average at least a 120. Looking at it, we see at this point a 117 will get the last person in, but I already know how this thing's going to turn out. So it's going to be a lot of shifting. Pro-black politics is sitting there with the 117, ranked number 16. So it's going to be very interesting coming down the stretch. So let me see if his screen is sharing. His screen is sharing. Give it some time to actually come up. Yeah, so this final playoff push in the last couple of months, we're going into the month of February. So February and March, a little bit of April. So it's really not that much time left for the regular season. And when we get to the postseason, the things is going to get very interesting in the postseason. That Rookie of the Year race is very interesting. We got the top 5, I believe, will be Brother Skeem, Sister Nandy, Skeem, Sister Nandy, Black Son, Brother Moses, and Sister Holly. So Holly is at the front runner for the Rookie of the Year. So there's a lot of more debating to do, though. So we still got time. All right, so go ahead and put it on presentation mode, and we can get busy.
Bro, this, what's crazy? It's pulling up a slide that's not even where I'm supposed to be at, and it's just stuck here loading. And it's getting salty. I'm not going to go. Hold on.
Oh, so this is the premise round. So yeah, you definitely gotta present. So how about we give him some time to get his situation together? We'll be right back.
Every time I get on StreamYard, it started going crazy.
Okay. Do you got a lot of Oh, it looks like it's coming up now.
Yeah, man.
Look like it's coming up now.
Nah. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's about to work. Yeah, my fault, y'all. My fault. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know. Shit.
Is that
Yeah, that's the beginning. I think it should be loading up. Hopefully.
Okay, so like I was saying, with the Rookie of the Year race, it's gonna go down because we got a few points. Well, Sister Holly, she shot up to that 133. So it's a nice about 15, 20 point difference there from the from Skeem to Sister Holly. So definitely these final debates going into these last couple of months is going to be very important for the people that's trying to catch up. You know what I mean? Because she shot up with those 2 debates, and she got a couple debates lined up. So she could score, she could hold that thing, down, and it should be very interesting though, because I'm pretty sure the other rookies is going to do their thing as well. We got to get that Sister Nandy and Swab Boss debate lined up. So the MVP is going to be very interesting too, because we got Domo Suave, Rio. Yeah, those would be the top three. It should be interesting. That should be interesting. All right. So, are you all set? Put it in presentation mode.
Yeah, it should be. It's just I'm trying to scroll up just to my slide. That's all I'm trying to do. There we go. God dang. Oh my god, shit is killing me. Yeah, I don't know. It ain't never did like this.
Oh,
Bro, I
you got
got it
other
on the
stuff on in your
Ethernet.
house? You said you got Ethernet?
Nah. Yeah, I got the Ethernet plugged into it. That's why I'm like, I don't even know what more I need to do. That shit is crazy, bro. All right. Oh no, fuck. Say. All right, it's about to start. It's about to start. All right, hold on. Here it come. Here it come. Okay, okay. Yeah, man, my fault. My apologies again, fella. I ain't never did this.
All right. So, okay. So that thing. There you go. You
All
all
right,
set.
all right, all right. We here, we
Damn,
here.
that's slow.
Man, the general in the building.
Man, what's good, Swab? What's going on, bro?
What's good, big dog? You got it, bro.
Man, you got the better hand. Just tapping in, man.
I appreciate you, man. Just going back over this KLT Skeem debate, seeing how the hell them scores came out like that. I guess they did, huh?
Man, hey, I ain't got nothing to say. I'm gonna keep my comments to myself.
Man, that nigga internet killed Skeem, man. Now I don't know. I don't know if KOT, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Skeem, that internet is a hater on your ass, bro.
He probably had too much going on over there, bro.
Man, nah, that nigga just the furthest away from the goddamn Wi-Fi box. That nigga need an Ethernet cord.
Talking about he got it. I don't know. It didn't seem like it, brother.
Yeah, man. I want to watch his what's name because I see KLT did, but it seemed like Skeem didn't do no prep. You know what I'm saying? Like he ain't give a fuck. Like, man, I ain't gonna look to see, you know, what archaeological evidence is out there that says this. But like I said, man, I didn't see him feeling rebut. He did a good job, but I don't know, man. These goddamn tens, boy. Motherfucker said them tens was gonna have to be earned. And it's all gravy, baby.
Yeah, man.
I know what that shit better look like when I step up. When your next debate?
I think it's the 8th with Pro Black. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Coming with that Big Bang, and I'm with the creation.
Okay. See, Pro Black trying to eat and give other people a chance to eat too. I see what he doing.
And we all gotta eat.
Got to.
You know. Now, when we get to the playoffs, that's something different.
On my life. It's like everybody creeping to the playoffs all friendly and shit. You want to set the debate up? No, we finna try to kill each other as soon as we cross that line.
Like, nigga, we cool, but nigga, we is not cool, nigga.
Hey, said, damn, this something else. Why did it just do that? Let's see. Why did he just do that? And shout out to the family, man. Yeah, we definitely gonna get it in. Oh, yeah, KO, KO, KO. Oh, where the fuck is this gonna go? So I guess we could watch this. Just let me see what he did do when he was able to get his shit together.
Man,
Like
judges,
fucking
bear
dollar.
with me.
Nigga, get off that dollar up, nigga.
Bear with me, judges. Bear with me.
Alright, so
It's
whenever you
some
ready, brother.
technical difficulties.
It's on you.
All right, let's get straight in. Now, the biblical timeline. We're gonna deal with some problems with thing off. Now, the dating relies strictly on the biblical narrative, nothing else. The biblical narrative. Now, biblical scholars use 1 Kings 6:1 to date Exodus, using Temple as a factor. 970 plus 4 plus the fourth regional year is when he constructed the temple, minus 480. You get 1446 BCE. Problem is, scholars are using the late Masoretic text that says 480. But the Septuagint, which is 1,000 years before the earliest Masoretic text, has the number 440, which would make the new date 1406. Contradiction right there. Egyptian place names Pi Ramses and Pi Autumn appear together in Egyptian texts only from the Ramesside period. The name Pi Ramses went out of use by 1085 BC, therefore placing the Exodus account between 1279 and 1213 BC. Three conflicting dates on a biblical account that is supposed to be the core of dating in several events within the Bible, including Solomon, because the temple, you get the temple, the date for the temple from the Exodus account. So let's keep going. Kingdom worth $2 trillion. I mean, Solomon's temple is worth $2 trillion. What places like Samaria and Megiddo tell us?
Can you go
Yep.
one slide?
Back.
Yeah, just back one slide.
I think that was 4.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, it says dating relies strictly on the biblical narrative. I'm sorry, family. I don't recall the Bible giving us dates like 1446 BCE, 1406 BCE. So what is he talking about? Right. And then he goes on to say the biblical scholars use 1 Kings 6:1 to date Exodus using Solomon's temple as a factor. So if that's the case, and they, like he stated in this first sentence, it's the biblical narrative, wouldn't they be using the calendar of the so-called biblical narrative, the Hebrew calendar? And I apologize for speaking out of turn yesterday. It's not a lunar calendar, it's a solar calendar, family. My apologies. But would we be using a Hebrew calendar to get this count and to get the dates of when our temple was built and not somebody else's calendar? I'm just saying, like, this brother, he's bringing this type of information, but he don't know how they calculated these dates. So can we really take these dates as something to even debate? If he can't come up with the calendar system on how they came up with the count to get these years? Just saying, family, it's a question that y'all need to ask that young man, because he ain't got no answers for me. You got it, Swah.
For sure. Hold on.
The fourth regional year is when he constructed the temple. Minus 480, you get 1446 BCE. Problem is, scholars are using the late Masoretic text that says 480, but the Septuagint, which is 1,000 years before the earliest Masoretic text, has the number 440, which would make the new date 1406. Contradiction right there. Egyptian place names Pi Ramses and Pi Autumn appear together in Egyptian texts only from the Ramesside period. The name Pi Ramses went out of use by 1085 BC. Therefore, placing the Exodus account between 1279 and 1213 BC. Three conflicting dates on a biblical account that is supposed to be the core of dating in several events within the Bible, including Solomon, because the temple, you get the temple, the date for the temple from the Exodus account. So let's keep going. Kingdom worth $2 trillion. I mean, Solomon's temple is worth $2 trillion. What places like Samaria and Megiddo tell us when we look at the palaces is very clear that the kingdom that was the richest and strongest and the best connected internationally was the northern kingdom, Israel, while Judah to the south was small, poor, and marginal. Well, Israel Finkelstein said that quote, Israeli archaeologists. So much for a united, vast, rich kingdom that God was supposed to give Solomon, huh? Archaeologists and biblical scholars have long thought that the location of Solomon's mines are in East Africa. In the book El Misterio de San Pietro in Cielo de Oro by Enrico Sushi, he points out that the search for King Solomon's mines was a top priority for the invading Italians in 1935 to 1941, only for them to find absolutely nothing. What else is new? Kingdom worth $2 million. Oh, I meant to say trillion. Dollars continue. Second Chronicles 1 and 12. Wisdom and knowledge is granted unto thee, and I will give thee riches and wealth and honor, such as none of the kings have had that have been before thee, neither shall there any after thee have the like. Scripture detailing when Solomon asked God for a wish like a genie, and he gets it granted. He asked for wisdom. God gave him knowledge, wisdom, and riches. None of that to show for. Synchronicity of sacrifice with Isaac and David. Genesis 22 and 2. Take your son, God said, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and go to the land of Moriah. Offer him there as a burnt offering on one of the mountains, which I will show you. Second Chronicles 3 and 1. Now Solomon began to build the house of the Lord at Jerusalem on Mount Moriah, where the Lord had appeared to his father David. As you see, God's orders are the start of this Mount Moriah synchronicity. Synchronizations are quite common in mythological stories. You'll see that later on. Architecture. Under Solomon's reign, the world famous 3 Solomonic gates. 1 Kings 9 and 15. This is where they get the gates from. And this is the reason of the levy which King Solomon raised for to build the house of the Lord and his own house in Milo, in the wall of Jerusalem, in Hazor, and Megiddo, and Gezer. What matters is the strategic evidence that not just comparing gates from other sites and relying strictly on the biblical narrative. Sorry, family, I'm trying to run through this, but these are the gates that they give the alleged credit to Solomon to. We're going to break them down. Architecture on Solomon's reign. None of the architectural features pertaining to the gates system found at the sites of Hazor, Gezer, and Megiddo date to the time period of Solomon. Instead, strategic evidence dates them to a much later in time. Throughout the country during the 10th and 9th centuries BC, rather than being an exclusive type of gate constructed only in Solomon's royal cities, all gates were constructed in similar fashion through the day different size and style of special interest in the similarity of measurements between the gates at Megiddo and Hazor, which were constructed at different times. It seems clear that the 6-chamber gate type was popular. That's a quote by David User Shirkin, another Israeli archaeologist. And Josephus, this is getting to Hiram, who built the Temple of Solomon. Well, Josephus is our source for Hiram. Josephus states that Hiram extended the Tyrian harbor, enlarged the city by joining the 2 islands, Ezion, Geber, and Ophir, constructed a royal palace and temple for the Phoenician deity Melkart. However, the modern archaeology has found no evidence for these expansions. While Josephus allegedly surrendered to the Vespasian, he flattered him by claiming that he received a divine revelation that the general will become emperor. This lie supposedly saved his life. After 2.5 years as a Roman prisoner, When the Roman Senate proclaimed Vespasian emperor and Josephus' prophecy was proven true, he was released from captivity. Clear myth. Josephus, the liar, source for Hiram. And suddenly Josephus was able to see Jerusalem fall and watch the temple go up in flames, which he says took place on the 10th day of Av. That's a lie because it happened on the 9th day of Av. Josephus, in fact, only source for Masada, that's the Roman wars, nearly all we know about the reign of King Herod, and a bunch of other things. This is who we have speaking on Hiram and Solomon, not a credible source. Ark of the Covenant. One of the most famous claims about the Ark's whereabouts is that before the Babylonians sacked Jerusalem, it had found its way to Ethiopia, where it still resides in the town of Aksum. In the St. Mary's Zion Cathedral, church authorities say only the guardian of the Ark is allowed to see it, and if they have never permitted the Ark to be studied for authenticity. But in 597 and 586 BC, the Babylonian Empire conquered the Israelites, and the Ark at the time was supposedly stored in the temple in Jerusalem. Whether it was destroyed, captured, or hidden, nobody knows. Ark of the Covenant continued. British forces invaded and took Ethiopia in 941. Eulendorf was a British army officer and scholar with vast knowledge of Ethiopian history and languages. What he saw was what you find in any Ethiopian church, which is a model of the Ark of the Covenant. It didn't differ for any way, form from many arks he has seen in any other churches. It was not ancient, and it was not the original Ark. Solomon's wives, Queen of Sheba, myth, only found in the Nagah. Solomon was so famous, how did only the Queen of Sheba heard about him? This is in 1 Kings 10 and 6. And scholars don't even know if she's from Yemen or Ethiopia. Solomon bloodline, no Solomon bloodline. Oldest Ethiopian Christian manuscript of any kind dates to 500 AD. Fermentus, which translates our father of peace and revealer of light, he spread Christianity in Ethiopia in the 4th century AD. The 9 saints spread to the masses in the 5th century AD, not through the bloodline of Solomon and Sheba. Civilization antiquity spent on Solomon? None. If Solomon was this renowned king, why didn't any neighboring civilization speak of his accomplishments that are stated in the biblical narrative? Did Solomon exist? Of course not. Solomon is only found in the Bible. There is no historical or archaeological evidence for the mythological character's existence, palace, temple, or architecture. The biblical narrative not being historical evidence is the same problem archaeology has been having for years, the attempt to find history within myth. And I yield my time.
All right. So we're going to get into the rebuttal round right after this brief intermission, family. This is the Solar Vision Debate League.
You're not hating, Manny. You're not hating, Manny. You're not hating, Manny. You're not hating, Manny. You ain't nowhere in my category, mandatory. You're not hating, Manny. 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 You ain't nowhere in my category, mandatory for me to tell you that you were very boring. And the moral of the story, I wish I could just ignore you, but they gotta burn your body, put you in the crematorium. And I'm the only audio inside the auditorium. And when I'm finished with you, you will not have no memorial. You wanna be Luigi, but you're not ready for Mario. And no scenario, running circles around your cardio. And that's a body blow, it's not a secret. Everybody know that you ain't coming close. I leave you comatose, and you become a ghost. I overdose, I gotta overload. That's when the windows of heaven open up for me with the overflow. And I can feel the power moving within every last chromosome. Battle right around the corner, you already know it's on. Understand me, you're not hating, Manny. You're not hating, Manny. Woo!
This is the Solar Vision Debate League. We are now heading into the rebuttal round, family. We're going to start out with KOT. Cameras are on. Whenever you're ready, KOT, you can begin your rebuttal, brother.
Okay, Shalom, peace and blessings, family. All praise to the Heavenly Father. Okay. Let's get into this rebuttal. Okay. He said there's problems with the biblical timeline. He said a contradiction of the dates scholars was interpreting between the Septuagint and Masoretic text. So his scholars are interpreting the dates wrong. That's the problem, family. It ain't that the text is dated wrong. His scholars, as he was saying, they're dating these two texts wrong of the time period because they're interpreting it wrong, family. That's what the problem of the biblical timeline, because they're interpreting it wrong. He said the kingdom worth $2 trillion. Then he also said Northern Israel was rich, family. But hold on a second. We find that historical accuracy of the Old Testament accounts is debated, but archaeology can no longer be used to contradict them. Ben Yosef told Sci-Fi News The team's latest findings indicate that the site was not only part of King Solomon's mine system, but also a large hub for copper production. They discovered a stone gatehouse featuring platforms, defensive fortifications, and secret passageways, which was apparently used to protect and transport the copper mines on the site. Copper was an extremely precious resource at the time of Solomon's rule, family. So they're saying, yes, Solomon did have those riches, and they found more stuff, like the copper mines, more production work was being going on. So we know it was a very rich and wealthy. He brought up offering Genesis and talking about offering Isaac on a burnt altar. I don't know why he brought that up. That doesn't prove or disprove King Solomon existed, family. He went into 2 Chronicles and read Solomon began to build a temple. According to the biblical narrative, yes, he did build a temple. According to the biblical narrative, the temple was destroyed. According to archaeologists, they have a problem excavating the site because of the Arabs. Family, so let's go on to see what else he said. He started talking about the gates, family. And he went into rebutting those gates. So I guess he set his premise up to rebut the gates, family. Well, according to the archaeologists that I had brought up and showed you, family, these are Solomon's gates. I brought that up and showed you this in my premise, family. So him saying it is not the gates, it's subjective. I brought up the archaeologists state that these are Solomon's gates. Even from the university, they have claimed these to be Solomon's gates. The archaeologists have claimed these to be Solomon's gates. So he's going off an opinionated scholar or whatever he's going off of to say, no, he don't believe it's the gates. But according to these scholars and archaeologists, these are Solomon's gates, family. And they're all constructed the same way, family. According to the biblical narrative, in the same locations according to the biblical narrative, family. He brought up Josephus. He said Josephus gave a revelation to save his life. And said Josephus a clear myth. So he's supposed to be the Duncan King Solomon. Now he went into trying to say Josephus is a myth and fake, which has nothing to do with King Solomon not existing, according to the biblical narrative. Because can you show me Josephus in the biblical narrative hanging out with King Solomon? So why are you trying to debunk Josephus as if I brought up him saying Solomon was real? I don't know why he brought that up, family, because I'm not here to rebut if Josephus existed. I'm here to show you that King Solomon existed, according to evidence, family. He brought up the Ark of the Covenant. See, he said everything fast, but he brought up the Ark of the Covenant. He said nobody knows. But he also said the Ethiopians said they have it. I mean, he contradicted himself. The Ethiopians say they have it, but you saying nobody knows. You told us why the Ethiopians won't show it to the others, because he don't want them stealing it, taking it, and it's sacred. You brought it up yourself. You maybe didn't say sacred, but that's the true origin of it. It's sacred. And they saying they have it, and you saying, yeah, they said they got it, but you don't believe they got it. You don't believe they got it because they haven't showed you or showed white man. So that's also subjective, because they say they have it. So all we can go off of belief, family, if you believe they do or they don't. They saying they have it. You even have scholars saying they have it. Then you have scholars say they don't know if they got it because they want to see it so bad. But they know to keep it interested and protect it, family, if they have it, which they say they have it. He brought up Solomon's wives said they fake. According to the biblical narrative, it didn't give all these thousands names of these women of his wives, family. So why would I go into searching up no-name women, family, to prove that they exist when all I have to do is prove there's evidence that King Solomon exists? Now, we know there's treaties of some of the women he did marry, but he's brought up 1,000. No, I'm not going to sit here and try to make up 1,000 names when the biblical narrative don't give you the 1,000 names of the wives, family. So that's also subjective what he said. Because according to the biblical narrative, it doesn't give the 1,000 women's names, wives' names, family. So I wouldn't have to go prove they existed. I just have to prove there's evidence King Solomon exists. He also brought up Queen of Sheba. According to the Ethiopians, she exists. She's part of their culture. According to the Ethiopians, family. And this is history and historical documentation that they have stating this is their culture. This is part of one of their lineages coming from the Solomonic dynasty. So you gonna go tell them this not true? They don't come from this man because what reason? The white man said they don't. When they said this is their ancestor, that they come through one of the sons of him and the Queen of Sheba, and you're saying you don't agree with these people of their culture because you don't want to believe in the biblical narrative or the Bible. So that's also crazy. Because you can't tell somebody who they descend from and don't descend from because you don't want to believe it, family. But that's pretty much all the stuff he actually brought up. But it went real fast. But I showed you. The scholars I brought up, an archaeologist. I just told you what his name was. Ben Yosef told Sci-Fi News. I told you that about the Solomon's mines. He did have riches, dominated the area. Family. I don't know what he's talking about. I showed you, according to archaeologists, these were Solomon gates that he fortified or they constructed. I showed you in the scriptures, family. But he's saying there's no text. And I'm going to end my time there because I actually went over everything he said, but he went a little fast. I maybe missed one or two things. But I'm going to end my time there, family.
All right. So shout out to KOT. We're gonna swing the rock back over to Brother Skeem. It is on you, Brother Skeem. Whenever you're ready, you could begin your rebuttal, brother. You have 10 minutes, Brother Skeem. Unmute your mic. It looks like you're gonna have some trouble with that camera being on, brother. Can you hear me? You gotta unmute your mic.
I can go ahead, Solar.
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
All right. All right. Let's get straight into it, family. The gates and my premise was not a rebuttal. That's something that I was covering due to the title is there historical and archaeological evidence for the existence of King Solomon. Now these gates have been attributed to him in the past by biblical scholars, but turns out they don't even date to his time, and this was a common uh style that was just built amongst the region. This is commonly found, and one of the gates of Megiddo and Gezer aren't even built during the same time. They're too far apart. It's a lot going on. You can't just run with an old source stating that the gates are still attributed to Solomon when they're not. The Strata tells us that it's not. He tried to speak on the stratigraphy being of the reign of Solomon, which is not. It's a century after. So I went over that in my premise. Well, let's see what else. You called the Bible historical documentation. It's not. You need to keep calling it the biblical narrative and never say that again because it's not historical documentation. You said Tamarin told Sheba about Solomon. Who is Tamarin? And when did he tell Sheba about Solomon? Can you prove the existence of Tamarin? And what land did Tamarin live in Ethiopia or in Yemen? Because remember, they don't know if she's from Yemen or Ethiopia. Like, see, I don't know. So then, let's see what else. Oh, show proof of Queen of Sheba. I mean, you're talking about Queen of Sheba, but you haven't shown any proof of her existence. See, where's all the queens and kings that are around Solomon that are just like in awe of his vast wisdom, riches, and all this trading he's doing, built all this architecture? Come on, man. And then he brought up the seals. Those seals, all that did was prove that there was a government going on at the time, and a very small one at that. Not no big vast kingdom that's supposed to be in the Bible. I keep saying that the Bible has Solomon as this big rich king with mines and all that. I told you the Italians went in search of the mines and they ain't find no mines attributed to Solomon. Solomon didn't exist. They won't find anything attributed to Solomon. Then he brought up the Tel Dan Stele. It don't say David on that. You got to look up the controversy between the interpretation of that stele. Okay? See, because according to George Athis, the problem in interpretation is the lexeme, is the absence of a word divider between the apparent two parts, Beth and DeWitt, with DWD for David. This suggests that the lexeme express a single word idea, not two words like house and David. See? It don't say David. It don't say House of David. See, you would know that if you know all the number of times that they inscribe biblical names, events, places into archaeology to fit with to prove the biblical narrative. It never works. It never works. Let's see, what else did you say? That palace you showed, that's not Solomon's. They attributed that to the date of Solomon's reign, so they say it's Solomon. There's nothing that you could show no archaeological evidence you could show that could pertain to proving the existence of Solomon. It's just not, because you have to prove he exists first, and then you can give him stuff to say he made this, but you haven't done that yet. So let's see what else. No ark. You brought up the ark and said, the ark, Ethiopia has the ark. I did not tell you that the British came in and was like, show us that ark. And then he seen the ark and he said, what is this? This is an ad hoc, which is just like something used to push forth an agenda of like they say we got the ark in the Ethiopia church, so now we're building good lore, and people will have something to believe in, I guess. I don't know, keep up this Solomonic dynasty of this. I don't know, it's lore, it's myth. There is no ark. Britons wanted to find out, and he found Lou Lorndorff found out there was no ark. I brought that up my premise. Let's see what else you say. Solomon's wives. You said I don't need to prove Solomon's wives. Ain't there no names in the Bible of them? What does that mean? We could still prove a king in the Levant with 1,000 wives during a time of 1,000 BC or 900, any time, like during time 900 BC. I don't know. It's lore. It's myth. It's talking about all the names of the wives. And then one of them, we got one, Queen of Sheba, he messed with, and we can't even prove that she existed. How sad is that? 1,000 wives, and one of them we got, and ain't even no proof for her existence. Well, I'll be doggone. Let's see. He said, according to the Ethiopians, they exist. No, according to the Ethiopians, they believe in him. There's a difference. They don't exist because a country believes in him. What? And the whole country's not Christians. No, they believe in him. Those are not the gates. Yeah, he was stuck on those gates for a long time, family, and that's sad because Finkelstein already went over those gates, not being a Solomon during the time of Solomon. And who else? Who was that? Finkelstein and David Usikin. Yeah, he said it was a lot of gates around the time that was just like that. There's nothing special. Nothing to attribute to, a king of Solomon, So, family, I pretty much covered pretty much everything he said. Of course, he's not going to address, saying the Solomonic bloodline and, the oldest Ethiopian manuscript of any kind dates to 500 AD. The 9 saints that spread Christianity to the masses in the 5th century AD. None of that. He didn't even speak on any civilizations outside of Israel and Judah that speak of Solomon. So I don't know. I pretty much cover everything. He didn't touch on Josephus, Hiram of Tyre that built the Solomon's temple. He talked about Solomon's temple was destroyed. So what? Talking about the Arabs is there now, so we can't excavate it. Ain't nothing to excavate. Why you think they there? Ain't nothing. It don't matter. It don't matter. It's just another. What you gonna do? Find some more gates, huh? Find some more gates and attribute it. Whatever you find, you're gonna attribute to Solomon, and then you're gonna figure out it ain't attributed to Solomon because there's always something going on. It's always something wrong. Y'all had the strata at first in the 10th century. Now it's dated to 8th, and then the strata from the 11th is to the 10th. It's just all due to Finkelstein. Thank Finkelstein. You brought him up in your premise. I don't. Oh, about the stele. Sad. See, that's what happens when you just doing research on one source and you just listen to everything they say and you like, oh yeah. Little did you know that stele mess. Come on, man. That's easy. That's easy work. That's easy work. You thought that said House of David. See, now you going ahead and repeating what Finkelstein say. See, you can't repeat everything he say. But shout out to Finkelstein, man. And shout out to KLT. I'm gonna yield my time on this. I pretty much covered everything that he had a problem with. And I pretty much spoke on things he didn't cover that I stated. So I'll yield my time.
All right. So shout out to Brother Skeem. We will be back for that rapid fire round. Should be very interesting, family. So we'll see you in a second. This is the Solar Vision Debate League.
Reparations on the table, nigga, we ain't seen shit. Put us under pressure, nigga, we ain't even sweat. Came out shining like a diamond in the middle, what's a mess? On Martin Luther King, bitch, we coming for a check. Headed to the Capitol to stake my feelings in the mind of a radical, you can't ride with me. I'm my only witness when I handle my business. Pull it from their hips, say bye-bye, Billy. No more time for no coasting, I'm on the highway focused. I ain't even smoking, I'm just riding my emotions. Both eyes open, I'm just trying to keep calm. Put an extra set of eyes on them doing recon. Knee deep in snow, say he trying to keep going. Told him get up out the cold before my nigga deform. Every old wound seem to getting retorn. I'ma write deep poems to a nigga reborn. I'ma make a statement before I make it out alive. No Channel 5, I would rather make a...
Asked do they contest to being up to Solomon?
I said religious one. Not all Ethiopians. No, not all.
Can you prove that they're religious, just the religious ones?
Well, Solomon is only in the Bible, so yeah.
Nah, man. I ain't going. Skeem, you got to get that internet fixed for real, man. For real. You messing with a veteran with KOT, man. You know, he been on this field for a minute. So, shout out to y'all, man. Debates. I'll be in the building Friday. Show y'all how to do it. Let me see if I can find. Let me see. Mic check. Okay. Let me see if I can find something else for us to watch, man. That we'll appreciate. Yeah, Skeem, man. You still doing better, bro, than you're expected to. you're a rookie, bro, and you're in the 130s. You know, you're in a pretty much safe area of debating. So, absolutely. Yeah, Skeem, you just came over here up under that Chris paradigm. Them tactics don't work no more. All right, here we go. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Them niggas was playing. Them niggas was playing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, y'all, I'm gonna have to shut this one down, man. I'm gonna check back with y'all when I get a little free time, man. But I gotta go on a mission, and ain't nobody up here to hold it down. So I'm gonna fuck with y'all, man. Why is my shit? Okay, I don't know if y'all heard me, but I gotta shut it down because I got something to do, and ain't nobody up here to hold it down. So I'm gonna just holler at y'all when I get a little free time. Black Power, appreciate y'all, man. Nandy about to go live. Go fuck with her. All right.